Well, hello my friends, it's Nina and today we are studying, hopefully for a long time. I am quite comfortable right now. I hope you are too. I guess it's time to get up now. We are back to studying Korean and I just realized in my last studying video I wore this exact hoodie. But that's okay, clothes are meant to be worn multiple times. I'm going to study for as long as I can today before I get tired. I'm just thinking back to the days when I was in college, when my entire day revolved around studying. I was up early in the morning to get ready for class. I would commute for about an hour. I would go to my first class at either 8 a.m. or 9 a.m. and then throughout the day I would have classes. And because I couldn't go home, I was stuck in the libraries and the student union buildings. And basically I had no break. My lunch breaks, I would have lunch next to my laptop and then I would go to more classes, and sometimes the classes reached until the evening to 4 or 5, 6 p.m. I had some film classes back then and our screenings would be at night. We would watch movies basically as a class together in a separate class at night, and then usually after all my classes I went back to the library and basically got all of my assignments and things done before I went home. Sometimes I would stay at the library till 12 or 1 a.m. So basically I was just studying the entire day. I don't know how this brain is the same brain that did all of that back then. But basically I don't have a plan, but we're just going to study all day together. So I hope you have your refreshments, your snacks, your notebooks, your laptops, your books, anything you need. Let's just have a proper studying day together. I think I'll also show you all of my studying techniques hopefully throughout this video. I have multiple studying techniques, but also I haven't done this in a while, so I need to get the brain jogging. For now I have my Korean learning website open. It's howtostudykorean.com. This is basically the only website that I use right now. It just gets the job done and it's kind of easy to use. I have my water as always. What are my snacks of choice today? I have nuts as always. Just a little container of them. I used to carry this around in college. My bones just cracked. This has almonds, cashews, I've got some pistachios, I've got some naked almonds. What's going on? Got some naked almonds, great source of energy. And then I've also got my tomatoes. Not only do I have tomatoes, but I also have grapes. A good combination. Anyway, we're going to study now. I also feel like I should show my hair once in this video. My hair has gotten so long, I need a trim. I don't have a particular lesson I want to learn. Actually, I do. I have to find it. But the way that I study, instead of going by order like you're kind of supposed to, I kind of hop around just because I'm very curious and I want my answers to question. But that's because I'm curious and I want my questions answered. I need my charger. Ah, perfect. But there will be a Korean grammar structure in my head that I want to look up and finally understand what it means. So that's kind of what we're doing today again. I did cover a lot of the basics and so that's why I want to skip around. But then there's also some days where I actually do want to go by order. It's kind of a mess, don't do that. But there is a lesson that I looked up recently. It's a grammar structure I've been focusing on more just because I've heard it a lot more recently. So I am going to lesson 51 and we are studying 기도하고. Oh my god. My Korean. 기도하고. It's been a while. 기도하고, 기도하다. 기도하고, 기도하다. Oh my goodness, I kind of lost it for a second. So I'm going to study 기도하고, 기도하다, which basically emphasizes verbs and sentences with the word to. I've heard this a lot. I've been focusing on it more recently, and I think this is a great place to start. Of course, if you're not studying Korean, study whatever you're studying. You are doing great, and I'm proud of you. Let's do this together. I'm gonna have a grape. Wow. So unit 3, lesson 51. I also haven't written in a while, so I don't really remember how to hold a pen. 51. 기도하고 기도하다. So we've got a lot of vocabulary. I don't know if I want to write it all down though. But that's also one of my flaws. My vocabulary is still kind of limited, which has been making Korean kind of hard for me to learn. My vocabulary is very simple, and so I can get by, but I can't get into deeper conversations with people as if I talk to anyone. But I can't talk about more things, basically. So maybe I should write it down, but time's sake, we'll just skip that for now. I'm just going to get into the actual important stuff, which is the grammar. Adding to a simple noun. Oh, I know that, yes, okay. So as we know, we add to nouns to add the meaning of as well or to the noun it is attached to. And then we also learned that we can add ki to verbs or adjectives. So after I write the header and then a little definition, I like to indent again and then add a little example. Most of my notes end up being examples just because after I have the basic meaning of a grammar structure, all I really need is examples of it. But everyone's studying method is different, but that's just what's more efficient for me. So here we go. For the translation, I'm going to write in a different color so I can see it better. And then basically I just keep doing this until the end of the lesson, and that will be the end of a lesson. I think it's good to not overwhelm yourself and just keep a good pace. Definitely don't try to do everything in one sitting. Give yourself a lot of time, things like that. Tomato. I'm wearing my blue light blocking glasses. Now I'm just writing a bunch of examples so I can get this in my head and so I can see it in multiple situations. 양파를 썰기도 하고 물을 끓이기도 했어요. Oh my goodness. I am for some reason not great with cooking terms. That is very necessary vocabulary and I just never give myself the time to actually sit down and learn cooking terms. I know a few but not a great amount. 양파를 썰기도 하고 물을 끓이기도 했어요. I need to go get an eye appointment. Not that my prescription has changed, but because everything expired. It expired so quickly. I'm running out of contact lenses and I need to get myself to an eye appointment soon. Hopefully I do that, but I keep procrastinating. I chopped onions and boiled water too. If you ever asked me to teach someone to cook in Korean, we would not get a finished meal. Feel tired. It gave me feel difficult, but I think it makes more sense to say feel tired or exhausted. Make sure that you're taking breaks. It's okay to take a break. It's okay to rest. It's okay to not be doing something and to be producing something and just churning things and results out all the time. Sometimes a very productive thing to do is just simply rest and take care of your health. Make sure that you're feeling good, because if you're trying to do a lot of things while your body is exhausted, while you're not in the right mindset to do things, then it's going to be even more difficult and you won't really get the perfect result that you want. It'll just be more difficult and it'll take a toll on your mental health and your physical health. Just remember to rest. Sometimes I still struggle with that too. Even when I'm resting, I feel like I'm not allowed to, or I'm not supposed to be doing this. And then sometimes resting even feels exhausting. So it's definitely about making sure that you're okay, mentally and physically. Depending on the situation, sentences with this structure can be used to indicate that sometimes one action is done and sometimes another action is done. Cool. I've heard of this in certain situations. I think another thing that's important about learning any language basically is just having a lot of context. I've said this many times in past videos, but basically if you have enough Korean just in there somewhere, then when you learn something you have all the sentences in here and they finally come out. And then you'll be like, oh, that's what that means. Of all times, my aim wants to be good now. I threw my white out into my tomatoes. It's okay, it's fine. That scared me. When we used to meet, we used to watch movies and have dinner too. 만났을 때 영화 보기도 하고 저녁 먹기도 했어. 먹기도 했어? 먹기도 해요? Oh! There's the translated definition down there. 우리가 만났을 때 밥을 같이 먹기도 했고 영화를 보기도 했어요. Okay, I was close. I was close. Another thing I like to do is try to make myself translate things on my own, and hopefully there is a translation, like a correct translation for you somewhere, and then you can compare if you got it correct or not. Just trying to get the brain moving. Yay! I finished a lesson that took 1.5 pages, which is usually around how much I get done. I think now I'm going to write the vocabulary from this lesson just so I can have it in my brain somehow. I have plenty of room for some vocabulary on the bottom half. Gonna get that taken care of. I don't need a ruler. Freehand! Oh wait, I know some of these words. I'll write it anyway. Done. Here are the final notes of the lesson. As you can see, I like to summarize it and basically get to the point. I just write the definition or the meaning and then a bunch of examples. We've got some more examples here and then the vocab at the bottom. And so we're done with that. I like using a big notebook for my Korean. I think now to kind of continue my Korean studies, I'm going to go on to my phone, onto Quizlet, and basically study the flashcards there. I haven't done that in a while. It's basically flashcards on my phone, and I'm surprised I'm not doing this more often, especially because I have my phone with me all the time. So I'm going to open that up and kind of get my brain going again. I used to use Quizlet for my college studies. It's been a while. So I think I'm going to do that and then probably end the night with lyric translations. It's not really me actively trying to make the translations, but it's me basically learning the lyrics to songs and then writing the English translations for them available on the internet. It's also fun to do, and it's a great way to work on your handwriting because you're writing a lot of Korean. But let's get studying. Yeah. Oh, comfy. Do you like my Koya socks? I like them. So I think I'm going to learn cooking terms. That's very important. And I finally want to learn more about that. So these I know. I think I just gave up on finishing making this set a long time ago. We've got 칼, which is knife, 주걱, spatula, 숟가락, spoon, 포크, fork, 젓가락, chopstick, 접시, plate, dish, pan, 그릇, bowl, 국자, ladle. Okay, and I've heard these used before, so I kind of have to remember them. If you're studying Korean or any language, try to speak out loud as much as you can. It's all about muscle memory and training. Let's go. Flashcards. It got dark all of a sudden. Yay! What color should I do? I like this color. Stay hydrated. ASMR. My battery's really gonna die during my outro? Hold on. So that is the end of this very long study session. But basically I just did the normal things I do if I study Korean. I go through notes, I go through lessons, I study flashcards on my phone because there is so much vocabulary and stuff to go through. And then I also studied some lyrics and beat translations. These are some of my favorite things to do when I'm studying, but there's a whole lot more techniques out there. I hope you enjoyed our time together. I always love making study videos because it feels like I'm studying with a friend. I may not be in college anymore, but studying and learning is a lifelong process and it's fun. I am going to go have dinner and call it a night, but thank you for spending this time with me and for being my study buddy. We are going to bring it in for a hug as always. Thank you for watching and for being here, and I will see you next time. Goodbye, my friends.